One of the things I love about ministry is I have the opportunity to see God enter into situations. And sometimes it happens when we're kind of thinking about praying, but before we even get down to the business of praying. I had an experience like that recently, and I was asked to share it with you, and I'm honored to do so. It's concerning me and my friend Kelly, her daughter Mary, and her daughter-in-law, rather, Mary, and her husband, Troy. So we've got a mother, Kelly, a daughter-in-law, Mary, and the daughter-in-law's husband, Kelly's son, Troy. They all live in the same house, children, grandchildren, just doing a wonderful time, doing a wonderful thing, keeping their family together and working on doing a lot of good things and trying to grow into the Lord. I've been doing a Discovery Bible study with them for a while now, and I had been getting a little frustrated at what seemed to me to be a lack of progress. Talking with Paul about that, trying to figure out how to tweak it, where, how I might have been making some mistakes and trying to correct them, things like that. But anyway, we met again, like always, on our Saturday morning. And as we were getting down to the business, of course, we're doing it over Zoom like everyone else is now. As we were getting down to the business of discovering how things were in our life and getting ready to look into our Bible passage, the daughter-in-law, Mary, began to be agitated, and she just expressed a great deal of frustration. She was concerned and convinced that her husband, Troy, had slipped back into his addiction. And we discussed that, kicked it around for a while, trying to figure out what might be the right thing to do. One of the things I determined pretty quickly was the planned passage that we were going to look into needed to be changed. We instead opened up our Bibles to the book of Luke chapter 18 and consider the story of the persistent widow. After going through that lesson and doing our best to keep to the discovery principles, we discovered what the persistent widow taught us about herself, and what the judge, the unjust judge, taught us about himself, and what God taught us about himself. We were getting down to the business of doing our I will statements. And we all came to the same conclusion, that our I will statement needed to be that we were going to have to persist in prayer until we gained victory over this situation that needed to change. And it wasn't too long after we had come to that conclusion and we were getting ready to pray that Troy, who had not been a part of this study, walks into the room and says, "I've got to check into the mental hospital." See, he knew he had hit bottom. He knew he was in trouble, and he knew he needed to get help. And again, that happened not when we prayed, but when we made the commitment to pray and were getting ready to pray. It reminded me of the time when Daniel had prayed all day long, interceding for his people Israel. And then the angel speaks to him and tells him that at the beginning of his intercessions, right in the morning when Daniel was praying, the answer had started coming forth. Sometimes it takes a while. Sometimes it happens immediately. And sometimes it happens before we even start. God is so good. He treats us so well, and I'm a very grateful man. I hope that you'll keep Kelly and Mary and Troy in your prayers. He still has not been able to find a bed yet where he can get the help that he needs. He's working on it. He's committed to the minute that door opens up, he's going to go in there, but it is a precarious situation. He's taking steps to keep himself safe in the meantime. But I do covet your prayers for this good family. Thank you for letting me share.